Welcome to Tonto's Demise podcast. What a lovely song Brian has picked for us here. We can only assume that is because he loves Nirvana. There's nothing behind it.
Well, actually, it has everything to do with Craig Kubicek's trade, and as you can tell, Nola is clearly upset with it.
I do not blame her. Soon we tried to get her to say Ajayi, and she went nuts. But anyways, I am Matt Detling, Tonto Bowl 1 and 3 champion.
And I'm Detonator's Tonto Bowl 6 champ. Welcome to week 8 of the podcast.
What a week it's turning out to be, and there hasn't even been a game yet. We're coming to you early because I will not be able to do the podcast tomorrow. I'm going to the Penguin game where I get to see Crosby, Letang's coming back, maybe Matt Murray, maybe Fleury, I don't know. And Brian has left the building. He's leaving me on my own here, which means I definitely will not talk about anything football related. I'll probably talk to you about a time I had a picnic. I was 7 years old. I was a babysitter's, and my lunch was nothing but bread and honey. That was the beginning of what I learned what child abuse was. Honey sandwiches every day of my life. Anyways, I took the honey sandwich, or I should say just honey bread, and I took the bread and I shoved it in the woman's rose bushes. And I said, "There's your honey, lady." And I was promptly not allowed to go back there again. But, all right, we're going to see what's going on with Brian.
And see what happens when I step away from the microphone for like literally 30 seconds because of a crying baby. I have no idea what you said.
I get distracted. I start making this like my therapy session. My psychiatrist told me to carry around a tape recorder, one of those fat old ones, those new ones actually. And every once in a while I keep forgetting that this isn't a tape recorder. And why am I walking when I actually have an iPhone myself? I can do the same thing.
You could. It's really, really easy. So anyways, Crystal had to take Nola because I couldn't console her. We're trying to like play some soft music for her, but I think that trade really scarred her. I don't know if she'll ever be the same. So thanks, Craig.
Yeah, I think we found out that she does not like rape, which is good.
Yeah.
It's a good first step.
It's a good thing. I mean, she liked Nirvana, but I could tell she didn't like the content of the song.
Yes, and she probably doesn't like Pearl Jam either, because that is like listening to somebody being raped. Is that terrible
Really?
voice of Eddie Vedder?
Oh my goodness, you're just saying that because of Craig, right?
Most of the time, yeah, but no, most of the time he sings, I'm just literally appalled.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't like Eddie Vedder's voice.
Okay, but are you a fan of Pearl Jam?
I'm a fan of the first album and maybe 10 other songs. When we were at the Rolling Stones concert and Pearl Jam opened for him, I was with Craig and the D-Arcs, and Craig, well, I said to Craig after the concert, Eddie Vedder, he played every single song I wanted to hear.
Good.
And Craig's like, it wasn't that good. He didn't play this and that, this B-side. Yeah, because he played all the main stuff, and I was like, oh, shut up, you overgrown pissant. I was like, you want to talk about elitist pricks, Justin? This guy over here got pretty much has a free ticket to see Rolling Stones with Pearl Jam opening, and he's sitting there going, it wasn't that good.
I mean, in all fairness, he kind of earned that because he is one of the biggest Pearl Jam fans I know. So he has the right to say that, but at the same time, you know what you're getting into when they're opening up for the Stones.
Right, exactly.
Because they're not playing to their fan base, they're playing to the Stones fan base, and they happen to be opening them.
Right, I agree. So I don't. If you came to Rolling Stones concert for Pearl Jam, that's your fault.
That's right. I'm a Pearl Jam fan. Not a diehard, but I'm a fan.
Yeah, but if when you go to Rolling Stones, are you going to Rolling Stones concert for the Rolling Stones, or are you going to go for Pearl Jam?
Well, Jay and I are going to start that Rolling Stones cover band, but until we do
God
that...
God help you. Do not even start.
Sorry. No, I would go see the Pearl Jam with the Stones opening up.
You are such a liar, and you know it. There's no way.
All right, so...
If you had a choice between seeing Rolling Stones or Pearl Jam, who would you see? And tell me why.
Geez, that's honestly a hard choice for me because I'm more of a Beatles guy. Like if you're thinking like Beatles or Stones. Yeah, huge Beatles.
Stones are iconic.
Yeah, I guess I'd say like the Stones just to say I saw them, but then on my deathbed I'd be like, I never got to see Pearl Jam. So my final answer, Pearl Jam.
I think that's a terrible reasoning.
I know, but hey, it's going with my gut.
It's because you have not thoroughly enjoyed the Rolling Stones.
I like about 10 of their songs.
Get in your mind, there's like 50. You play the 40 licks, man.
All right, let's move on. So,
And the Rolling Stones are a way better live show than Pearl Jam.
top 5?
Oh, yeah, top 5, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we decided that.
Ryan Adams opened up for him once, too. And I was at that show as well.
Yeah. And were you upset with Ryan Adams' set?
I was not. I actually didn't know who he was.
Oh, okay.
I knew who he was, but
Before
I
you
didn't know who he
were-
was because he was playing Grateful Dead punk rock.
Okay.
And I was like, who the hell is this
Pretty
guy?
awesome.
I kind of dig it, but I don't know who he is. And then I went to the gift shop, and I saw a lighter that said Ryan Adams sucks. He was selling his own lighter saying Ryan Adams. I was like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty incredible.
What a great concert, right, Brian?
Very
What a
good.
great-
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so we thought we would shake things up a little bit. We took last week off, obviously for my uncle. He's doing as well as can be expected. But because there's been so many trades, and because this last trade that Craig and Josh made has everybody so fired up, we're going to start off with trade time.
Right. And I'd also like to take this moment to say whoever started the rumor that the podcasters were breaking up, you're a liar. And it's not
Is
happening.
that rumor out there?
It might be.
Okay. If it's not, it is now.
We had a misunderstanding. We cleared it up 5 seconds or less. So put that rumor to rest.
All right, you ready?
Trade time, trading guys, excellent.
Wow, you can't teach that.
I know. When you said, "Are you ready?" I said, I almost was like, "I'm always ready, Brian." I almost went to Luke Cuckoo. And the podcast is over.
You're gonna be senile, and I'm gonna visit you in the hospital, and I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, watch this. Are you ready, Dad?"
One eye open, like, look at you. Are you ready? And the other eye's open. I'm always ready, Brian.
And then 10 seconds,
And then I'll just die.
and then 10 seconds later, I'm gonna do the same thing. You ready, Dad? We'll do it all over again.
Yes. Like the nurses will be like, that's the most active activity he's done in like a month. He just kind of mumbles to himself.
All right, that would be awesome. I can't wait for that day. But until then, let's go ahead with the first trade.
Okay. Okay. You actually have that thought process going in my head to me in an old folks home, and I'm like, I better never be in an old folks home. I better be dead. If I have a choice, I'd rather be dead.
You need to fill out that living will.
Oh, please. Living will?
It's not about your health. It's just about what your final wishes are. So you're saying I'd
There will
rather.
be some wishes against Craig. That's for sure.
They're mainly about your life, not other people's lives.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Not like I want, Craig maimed or something.
well, I'm going to have some offers of stuff. Like, I have $50,000. Only way to get it is to club Craig in the knee. Ice skater style. Tanya Harding style. Anyway, back to trade time. The first trade that we have is between Twerk Kubisic and FC Bahorek. And we apologize, like you said, for not getting to this before. So this is a little late.
Little late.
October 18th was the trade. So Josh got Tom Brady for Odell Beckham from Justin. My opinion on this trade, it was a highly quality trade.
Yeah.
Josh, you did a good job here.
I agree.
Yes, you wanted a better upgraded quarterback, and you had to give something up. And Justin at the draft took Brady and had the good fortune of having Matt Ryan go off and be like,
Yeah.
I can get like this guy go. And that's what he did. So it wasn't a bad trade in my
I got
opinion.
Matt Ryan like the 13th, something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Really good. I think we all were like, how did we let Matt Ryan fall that far? Which was like what we say every year about 5 people.
And yeah, I think Josh got the better of this trade in the long run because Tom Brady's going to be more consistent. He's probably going to get him 50 to 70 points every week. ODB, I hate to say ODB, OBJ. That'd be awesome. I would love to have ODB.
I'm guilty of saying ODB as well myself, so don't worry about
I
that.
would love having him on my fantasy team. OBJ, he's going to get you to those breakout weeks, but then he's going to have those weeks where he gets 5 points. So
Yeah, but that goes to say for every big receiver there is out there.
most of them, not all of them.
What? Okay, give me a big name receiver that isn't going to have like the 5-point game.
Mike Evans.
Shut up.
He gets 20 points a week.
Does he really?
Yeah,
Like,
there was
I
like
honestly-
one week where he might have had 13.
I don't consider Mike Evans a top 8 receiver,
He's a top 10 easy.
top 10. So well, he's not the big receiver. Like he's not a Julio Jones or an ODB or an Antonio Brown.
Yet, because it's his third year in the league. He's there. He's not a household name yet.
I mean, he's household, but he's not.
Yeah.
Nobody's putting a fat head up on the wall of him.
That's not yet. Well, I mean, he's in Tampa Bay.
True.
It's not a great market either, you know. Anyway, I get your point. Like, a lot of big-time receivers have those weeks where you kind of...
Jordy Nelson, 1.9.
Wow, that was bad.
It was.
Yep. Can he make it 2 weeks in a row?
Wow.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, not yet, Brian.
But yeah, I think overall, like in terms of value, they both got good value for the position that they were looking for. You got a number one receiver for a number one quarterback. I would just rather be on the Josh end of it, personally.
Oh, well, I mean, since we're doing personal things, I would actually be on the end of Justin's, because I think Justin gets the better end of the trade because he already has Matt Ryan to go on, so he's actually just picking up a great player for, like, essentially, I don't know when their bye weeks are, but for nothing, from my point of view.
Yeah.
Like,
And
somebody makes you that offer, you take it.
I'm just thrilled, and I shed a tear whenever I saw that Justin made a trade. Like, nobody wanted to trade with this kid all year. And finally, Josh made his wish come true.
Right.
He finally found a place for Tom Brady. I felt bad every time on the lineup. He would just be like, "Hey, you know, you might need a quarterback." Like when Big Ben went down, he offered him the trees.
Yeah.
It got to the point where it was like so obvious that he was so desperate to trade him. But more power to Jet. He got a great receiver for him.
Yeah, even for being desperate, he still got
Yeah.
a highly talented receiver,
Yeah.
which I would be impressed with, because I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd give up what's his name? Odell Beckham. OBJ. That doesn't sound good. But I mean, like, I think I'd roll with Blake Bortles or whoever the other quarterback is before I give him up.
Before you give up OBJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so I think Justin won that one. If we had to pick a winner or not.
We do.
Okay. All right.
I say Josh.
On to the next trade.
Trade.
The next trade is actually has Justin involved again.
Same day?
No, 4 days later.
Okay.
This one was none other. Justin traded Deshaun Jackson to me for the Tennessee defense.
And this is your first trade of the year, right?
This is my first trade of the year.
Okay.
Not for lack of trying.
Okay. So he made your wish come true.
Yes. Well, this one was a very hem-haw trade. I thought about it for a long time. And I was like, he wanted Tennessee defense, and I was like, I know you want him for streaming options, and
Yeah.
I was saying,
He loves to stream a good defense.
yeah. And I said I was trying to beat Gags, and I was like, I got to pull everything out I can, and I was looking, I was like, why not? Sure, this is like it was versus Detroit. I was like, Deshaun Jackson connection, it's gonna be good. I got the Cousins to Jackson connection.
Did you do it just so you could say that?
No, I did not. But I thought he had. It was a boom or bust week for me. Is what I was telling myself. It's got to be boom or bust, because if I bust,
Yeah.
because looking at Gag's lineup, I need to go off. I need my whole team to freaking go off for me to chance to have a win.
And when you look up Boomer Bust, you see Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, he's pretty much the face of the whole boom or bust movement. And so I said this also helps because now I can just be like, it's Seattle or nothing, because before I was looking at Tennessee and they weren't doing, like, Tennessee was doing well. Like, they had 6 sacks before. They won me the game last week or something. And I was like, I got to get rid of them because they'll just mess with me.
So do you think Deshaun Jackson won you the game against the Gags?
No,
Okay.
not even
Let's
close.
see how many points he got.
He got 5.9 or something. It was
He didn't do it.
something. It was bad. But we'll talk about that later.
All right.
But so yeah, that was the trade. And if you had to ask me, I would say Justin won it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I'd probably agree with that, because I think Deshaun Jackson, I stay away from as far away from as I possibly can. Justin actually offered him to me earlier in the year, and I think I just said LOL. Like
Oh, really?
He's been dead to me for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 years and counting.
He's like fool's gold. He's attractive.
Yeah.
But it's just it's not real.
But last week would have been a great play for him because Jordan Reed was out. I think somebody else might have been out as well. Maybe not. But still, whenever like the top option is out, Deshaun Jackson, like, you think he's going to get more targets, you know? And I think Jordan Reed is going to be out for at least a couple more weeks.
Well, he's practicing.
Oh, is he back on the practice field?
Yeah, I think it's just to get cleared. I don't know if he will or not, but yeah.
Yeah, but I guess I'd probably give it to Justin as well. I think Tennessee D, they've been doing pretty well. And
Yeah, they have the ability to get him more points. And I mean, I know defense can get you like 40, 50 points, but when you're trying to make plays and you got nothing on the bench right now, I had like everybody's on bye week and all my chips, if I have trade chips, just weren't playing.
Yeah.
And who wants a player when they're on the bye week? Just saying.
Well, I can think of one manager in our league.
Yeah.
I think only one.
Only one.
All right, so I think that's enough of your trade.
Yeah, mine was
A little ho-hum, but you
Yeah.
know,
all right.
I'm not criticizing it like Bean would or Bigler or
Right.
whoever. I don't think it was Bigler. I think it was Bean.
Should we save this one for last?
Yeah, let's go to
That one.
the most recent one.
The most recent one?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. The most recent trade happened today at yesterday at 10:08 p.m.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Today, I don't even know what days are, but Craig traded Phillip Rivers to Jimmy for Eli Manning, and Craig was wondering why we weren't talking about this. Well, why aren't you talking about my Phillip Rivers to Eli Manning trade? Like, it's a big deal, Like,
Look over here. Don't look here.
Yeah, like I housed him. I raped him for that. I was like, no, don't even try that. This isn't. You aren't a magician. You're not trying to do a sleight of hand, or like you're distracting us with one thing, and over here you're doing the other one.
You greasy politician, you.
Like we saw right through it. We know. Okay, you traded him. I know why you traded. Should I do it?
Good. While you're pulling that up, I'm not really too excited about this trade one way or the other. Jimmy, his number one quarterback is Derek Carr, and he's playing him. But, Phillip Rivers, he's a solid backup quarterback. Eli Manning, I honestly think that Jimmy won this trade, not just because of the whole bye week thing. I think that if I had my druthers, I would take Phillip Rivers in a heartbeat. And if you look at the stats, they back it up. Eli Manning has a lot of 30-point weeks this year, and I think Phillip Rivers has a couple, maybe one or two 30-point weeks, but they're mostly 40 and 50-point weeks. So, yeah, if I were Jimmy, I would have taken that trade too.
Yeah, I mean, Rivers is the freaking man.
Yeah.
He might not, when he doesn't have his receivers, he can freaking throw the ball at the best of them. And we all know that Rivers likes to go off in December during the playoff rush. So, I mean, why would you trade him for Eli freaking dumbass Manning?
He can't even cheer his brother on at the Super Bowl.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Come on. Everybody's cheering. Kids are jumping up and down. He can't even put a smile on his face.
Well, here's the deal, though. I don't know if you caught my video of how to beat a Krager.
No, you put a video out?
Yeah, how to catch a Krager.
What was this?
That was that was our opening video of the for the draft special. I had a step-by-step thing.
Oh, yeah.
Part of it was don't trade with Craig.
Yes. That was great.
Nobody listens to me, apparently. But Craig, and I also stated, I believe, that Craig likes to build his team for the playoffs.
Right.
Doesn't care about the regular season. Well, as you can see in this regular season, wasn't panning out because he didn't get the players that he wanted because conveniently he wasn't awarded the number 2 overall pick for the third year in a row. So he couldn't get a big name receiver like Julio Jones, So, but what Craig has done is his quarterback, Jameis Winston, if you don't know about the playoffs, weeks 14 and 16 plays New Orleans.
Yeah, that's a great matchup.
It is to have 2 out of 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, what Craig was harboring and had problems with is the week in between. Jameis didn't play anybody great, or was having against tough defense. I don't believe Rivers did either. I'm not going to take time to pull it all up, but I believe Eli Manning plays Detroit in week 15.
Which should be also a high-scoring game.
Right. So that is what Craig is trading for.
I think you could be a great fantasy football lawyer. You're like trying to build a case against Craig, and you're trying to get him thrown in jail.
Why? This is what I'm saying. Like nobody's like, you need to take the time when Craig offers you a trade. You need to take the time to look at why he would offer it to you because Craig never offers a trade where it benefits you.
Yeah, it's never even.
Yeah, like that's why I asked in the lineup. I said I want to see the message where Craig sent to Josh, explaining whatever this was, and maybe to Jimmy too, about why this would be a great trade for you. Because Craig, if you notice, Craig doesn't send me trades. I don't think he sends Bigler trades either. He doesn't trade with people that sees through the shit that he does. And that's what I'm trying to say is Craig is so full of shit, and he comes out shining out like a diamond.
He sent me one, and it wasn't that bad. I'm not going to trade and tell. But it wasn't that bad. It still wasn't a trade I was...
It involved Ajayi?
It did.
Really?
It did. But I wasn't interested.
All right, well, I'm just saying that when he said somebody was going to bite on it, it wasn't that other people were saying, hey, I want Ajayi.
Well, hey, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. Either.
You know, Delling, it just reminded me, you are the Bernie Sanders of our league, and Craig is the Hillary Clinton of our league. When he says release the damn emails, you're saying the same thing about the text.
Admit.
Release the text messages. Release the damn emails. We want to see what you're saying behind closed doors to these donors named Josh Hayward.
I take that as a compliment.
I would too.
Yeah. He might get to be president, but it's all through corruption. Oh, you said Jimmy.
All right, final thoughts on this trade for me. I give it to Jimmy because I didn't want Rivers over Eli because Craig's probably not making playoffs.
Oh, I pray you're right, Brian. I'm giving it to Jimmy as well. I like Rivers. He's got fire in his blood. And honestly, I just feel like Eli Manning never wants to be there anyway. And his coach's name is Ben McAdoo. It's like that. I feel like that's a character in a children's book.
I would much rather have Jim Bob Cooter.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and I don't feel confident playing Jameis Winston every week.
No.
And, like he is basically two number 2 quarterbacks. I consider Phillip Rivers like at the very end of the top tier. Like
right.
Probably like number 10 quarterback. I put Eli below that a little bit, maybe like number 12, 13. And I put Winston even a little bit lower than that. I'd have to actually write it down, but I'm not going to do power rankings for it. All right, Delling, I think that's all the trades we have, right?
No, there was one more, Brian, that I'm sure everybody's waiting with bated breath that want to hear our opinions on.
And what trade would that be?
That would be none other than the one that Craig did with Josh on October 25th, 2016.
Wait, with who?
Josh.
Who?
Your Cobra?
Oh, Cobra. Yeah. Remember how we used to do that with Jeff?
Oh, yes.
Who?
Josh is becoming the Vanilla Josh now.
Vanilla Josh.
No more Quark Kubisik. Whatever. So, but no, yeah, so at October 25th at 2:58 p.m., the trade went through. And since we don't have a button for the commissioner to veto anymore because people complained, didn't like that. It was like Roger Goodell with the power.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think we should have a commission, though. I think we should have a team.
We tried to have a team. Yeah, we tried to have a thing where they vote, and I don't get like 5 people voting.
Yeah.
So I'd just be like, well, I have to make the decision because you guys aren't into it. And then literally Jimmy said, I don't even care. I'll vote yes. So if we don't care, don't vote.
Now that we have the lineup, people might vote.
Yeah, but that has to be brought up at another time.
And it'll take 3 years to pass.
Yeah, it would take 3 years to pass. And then when first thing that somebody vetoed, everybody with somebody for flip out, threaten to leave the league. Even though there was a rule in place that said the vote is what matters, and everybody agreed to it. Not naming names, just saying.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. You act like a little bitch. And I had to let it go through so you wouldn't leave the league. I'm not quite sure to this day whether it was for the greater good. But anyway, to the trade. Bringing up old memories.
Yep. Painful memories.
Bitter. I'm a little bitter memories. That's one of the reasons I wasn't the commissioner anymore. I didn't want that responsibility. It's not because I wasn't willing to do the work. I was willing to do the work eventually.
Eventually, when you got around to it.
Yeah, when I got around to it. So this one is Craig traded Jay Ajayi to Josh for Spencer Ware. Where should we start?
I mean, we can start wherever you want to start, but I'll start here. I really can't believe that Craig didn't play him after the Steelers game. Even if they're going up against Buffalo, he had a huge breakout game, and all signs pointed to him probably at least getting touches. Mm-hmm. I would have played him, personally. But I will say that, I think Bean said this on the Lion app, he is doing what you're supposed to do. You buy low, sell high, and Jay Ajayi is not going to get any higher than this. He's not going to get another 200-yard performance in a row. So I'm not going to say kudos to Craig, but yeah, you got to sell the guy whenever he's at the highest value.
Right.
But kind of what Bigler said, his value doesn't drop after the bye week.
Right.
So
yes.
if you're Josh and you're sitting there and you're looking at this trade offer, whoever offered it, I'm guessing Craig offered it to him because Craig offered me a trade as well. You could say, well, I like that trade, but I'll do it next week. And when Craig says, sorry, I've got other people waiting, then you say, all right, well, go ahead and trade him.
Right. Because if somebody ever tells me, when I was buying my car, Brian.
It's definitely a sleazer car salesman move.
When I was buying my car, at first I went to the one in Monroeville at this Toyota dealership, test drove my Scion TC at this dealership. It was a used car. It had 8,000 miles on it. And it was a 2000, whatever, 5 or 4. And I told the lady I like it. I said, I'm going to go to Johnstown and talk to my parents about it. And she said, do you want to put like a $500 deposit down on the car, and for just to hold on this lot? I said no, and she said, I can't guarantee that this car will be here when you come back. This is a popular model. It's a good chance that literally tomorrow it won't be here. And I was like, that's fine if it's not here.
I can live with that.
Yeah, and in my mind I was thinking, I know in Johnstown, this other lot, I feel like there's a newer model, the same exact price.
Plus, I know this lady is BSing me.
Yeah, so I said, if it's gone, it's gone. And she looked at me like she couldn't believe I was just walking away from the deal of a lifetime. I proceeded to go to Johnstown, went to the lot, found the new 2006 model at the time, 300 miles on it for the same price.
Same price.
Same price, because it was straight. The deal was it was straight pricing out there.
Okay.
But when it was used, they put the same price as a straight price. Doesn't that blow your mind?
That's awful.
So I could have bought a year older car with 8,000 more miles and still paid the same price.
That's a horrible
Yeah,
model.
that's when I started to learn that nobody speaks the truth, including Craig Kabist.
So what's the moral of the story?
Moral of the story is if Craig ever tells you I got other people waiting, you tell him to shove it. That is that's the oldest tricks in the book. And if that's the case, Josh fell for it.
And I will say this, that Craig did tell me that he had a couple other people. He said he had at least one other person he's trying to trade him. I'm like, well, go ahead and trade him.
Right.
I'm not going to wait around for him because I'm not that interested anyway.
Right.
Because the person he was offering that he wanted off of my team, I'm not going to say who it is, but I was like, I can't give this guy up because he's guaranteed points almost every week. Jai, he might get it, he might not, and I don't have a lot of faith in the running back slot.
Right.
And I have no room in my flex. So anyways, Josh, there's no possible reason that you should have traded him this week. That's my only beef. You could have waited one more week and made Craig suffer like anyone else would have done.
Right.
Plus, that proves to me that your head is not in this year, it is in next year.
Yeah, it hasn't been. I don't think it was even in last year.
Well, because he said that he was looking at the keeper value. And if you're looking at
Right.
keeper value in week 7, then you're looking to the future and you're not trying to beat your opponent this week.
Yeah, and if you're looking at week 7, that's pathetic, man. You got Craig always says something. We tried it because we all tried to the end.
Yes.
And in my opinion, this is not trying at all. This is throwing the league in a way, throwing it towards Craig. But now I have a lot of problems with this trade. Not just trade, but the way Craig acted. So, Craig, when we all said stuff to him about first he won't admit that he trade raped. He will not admit to the trade rape. He's trying to say, "Oh, I got value. Oh, Jai's great." Well, okay, you're gonna say he had back-to-back 200-yard games, right? First off, it was against the woeful Steelers defense, and you can't say that they were that good because they were never good.
No.
LeGarrette Blount, whatever, proceeded to gash them for 127 yards 2 times the very next week. Then Ajayi, I mean, who was he playing? Buffalo for the 200 yards?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but their front line is not that good.
Okay.
So that's another 200 yards. Ajayi sucks. Everybody, I don't care whoever, you want to come at me and say that I'm wrong, you can, but I will dispute. We can look, Gag sent 2 pictures of the point totals, and here I got a lot to say about this, Brian. I apologize.
Well, go ahead and pull that up. While you do, I agree that Jai sucks, and I don't think that he's going to come close to 200 yards again. And if most people in the league would probably take Spencer Ware for the long term, especially because Jamal Charles, no offense, is probably not going to do much this year.
Right. Well, that's what. Now I have to hope for that. Have to hope that he comes back from his knee. I actually am rooting strongly that Spencer Ware breaks his leg.
That never does you any good.
I know, but I'm rooting for it. I'm rooting for it that Craig does not have this position of power. Now, as we can look through Gags, I was going to say this too, but Gags, I always like to say Gags is a very smart individual. We don't give enough credit for being a fry cook. But Josh basically handed a commodity over to Craig. Spencer Ware in the first week had 32.9 points. Then he had 10 points. Then he had like a 7-point game, an 8-point game. Bye week, then he had 27.3, 21.1. Now, the thing that I'd like to say is, of course, Gags doesn't have. Very next, he plays Indianapolis. ESPN has him ranked the number 4 overall running back this week.
Spencer Ware.
Spencer Ware. So Josh, in turn, just traded the number 4 running back to Craig. Then the next week, he plays Jacksonville. And looking at his weeks 13 through 16, they aren't that bad. They're pretty nice compared to Ajayi, who looks like right here. You can tell he plays New York Jets right after the bye week, but he didn't play until essentially week 5. Like he didn't really play.
And I can't guarantee, but I'll guarantee he doesn't break 100 yards against the Jets.
No, he does not. But here's the thing: Craig's talking about it. Craig never started Ajayi 1 week out of 7. So Craig, you traded a guy on your bench that you never used. And I know what trade high, blah, blah, blah. But no, you traded a bench player for a starter. That's what pisses me off. And then he goes on to say, well, I have a lot of depth at the running back position. Okay, hold on a second. And Gags, or no, it might have been Bigler that said something. Oh, yeah, that Matt Asiata is really doing you well. So I looked at his roster here. He's got DeMarco Murray. That's depth, right?
Yeah.
Good. LeGarrette Blount is depth for now. Then, minus Spencer Ware, who's now speaks as depth. He had Matt Asiata, bum. We're going to go, who's it? Chris Ivory, bum.
Yes.
And you're going to go with Terrence West and try to tell me he's good. But no, Terrence West is a bum. Terrence West also is hurt now. So, Craig, you have 3 bums on your bench. None of those guys are depth.
So he would have been forced to start Matt Asiata if he was going to play another running back.
Right, exactly.
And who would if he had to play if he just put a wide receiver in the flex?
He had Tyler Boyd.
Wow.
That's who he had. So that all your excuses there are garbage, Craig. Garbage. Absolute garbage. You're trying to make it sound like you actually think that this is true.
But your anger is directed at the wrong person. And that's what Craig is suggesting.
I'm not angry because Josh, my anger is directed to the right person because I don't take Josh as a hard-nosed fantasy football trade guy. I don't see him going and doing these hard, crazy trades. Like, he did do a good job with Antonio Brown. He did do a good job with Odell Beckham.
Yeah, exactly.
But then he laid a goose egg. But it's not. But my problem once again is not with the trade itself. It's with the fact that how Craig has acted towards it when we questioned him on it. Like if he said I did, he's like I admit I got away with trade rape. I'd be like, okay, you're a dick, but you did what we all would do.
Right, and that's
I would say, hey, I got away with trade rape.
Trying to move him in that direction, being like, okay, you got great value for him, you know.
Right,
He's trying to help him with those words.
But no, well, obviously he's a wordsmith.
Yeah.
Now on ESPN, also, Craig, don't tell me that you're trying to do this for the good of anybody else. ESPN says players to buy and sell before the trade deadline today. The article came out.
Did Craig write it?
Probably. Number 1 on that list, Jay Ajayi, said every player reaches a peak in marketability during the season, a point where returns are at a maximum compared to all moments of the season. And back-to-back 200-yard outings, a feat accomplished by only 4 other players in league history. Said trading away Ajayi would be bold, but the schedule for the Dolphins isn't appealing. And then 3 of the 7 stingiest fantasy defenses in the final 5 weeks. And they also went on to call Ajayi fool's gold. And that's basically the point is what I'm trying to get is, you screwed over Josh. And we're in a league where we try to give each other fair trades. But occasionally something like this creeps up. And it's funny because the only person that's usually creeping up with is Craig.
Fair enough. And I can't get over the fact that You would trade away the number 4 ranked running back for this week. You know?
Yeah, the bye week thing, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like, what Craig, like, say, I'm not going to, well, if you don't trade him to me now, I'm not going to trade him.
Does Josh have that kind of depth that he can give away the number 4 ranked running
he
back for
does
this
not.
week?
He does not. So, I honestly hope this blows up in Craig's face. I hate this trade. Obviously, Craig wins the trade.
Yeah.
And once again, I hope Spencer Ware breaks his leg. And that Jamal Charles does respond back to his leg and he gets a starting job back like he should. Because this also gives Craig keeper value with Spencer Ware. If Craig, I think it's like the 4th round pick, so Craig would use a 3rd round pick.
Oh, really? He took him that high?
Yeah, he did. But I don't think, actually, I don't even think Craig would keep him that high at 3rd because he knows Jamal Charles.
No.
So
You don't trade with Craig, period.
Yeah. And to end and to close, Craig, you're scum. And don't ever offer me a trade.
Unfinished business. All right, Delling, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I think
I've got a short laundry list.
short laundry. Should I go? I should go first. Let's see
You
here.
must have a long laundry list.
I have a couple. Let's see here. This one.
Do you think Josh was on drugs?
He might have been like cough syrup, cough medicine. Sometimes that causes you to see stuff. You drink
Yeah.
too much of it.
Maybe whippets.
I'm not gonna lie, whippets are fun. I haven't done whippets in a long time, but Josh is a chemical engineer. He might want to experience with other chemicals in his brain.
I liked how Gag's comment was like, if he was on drugs, he gets a pass.
No, it's very fair. It is. It's very fair. If he was on drugs, he does get a pass. So, I mean, I highly doubt it, but yeah, I don't think so.
Nicotine.
Nicotine and
Maybe caffeine.
nicotine and caffeine. I hate nicotine. I hate caffeine too, but I still drink it.
All right, what's your first unfinished business?
All right, I don't even need no words for me, but let's just say it this way.
This is riveting.
We are Penn State! 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 Thank you!
I'll let you talk about that because it's your unfinished business. But let me translate for everybody. Whenever they say "we are," the response is douchebags. Go ahead.
Oh, wow. That's not what they say. Spoken like a true Lockhaven guy at school doesn't even have a chance. You're lucky you have one stoplight in your town.
All right, go ahead.
Anyway, yeah, you're like, because I know you're right. I know you're right. No, that is, we are Penn State, Brian. This one goes out to Bigler. I know he was a little upset. I should say the football team of Pennsylvania State University stepped on that field versus the number 2 team in the country, Ohio State University. It was a beautiful night. It was a whiteout. Jay Huber was there.
Yeah, with the president in his box.
In the president's box. So that's how dedicated we all were to this game. It was beautiful.
Wait, and he went to Lockhaven?
And he had to go to Penn State to get a job. What's that tell you, Brian? Stop. Just stop. It's not helping. Anyways, so yeah, the game happened. Ohio State's supposed to come in. They were like 20-point favorites, trying to keep their national championship hopes alive. Everybody's like, it's going to be Ohio State versus Alabama. And Penn State blocks not one, but I believe 2 kicks and runs one back for a touchdown. The defense stops JT Barrett. Ohio State can't do anything. They win the game, Brian. The crowd goes crazy. Every fan's texting, we are Penn State. We fucking rocked Ohio State. I'm so happy because it's about time Penn State gets a signature win. I know they've been through a lot as far as an organization, and I won't talk about anything else since we were talking about rape before. We don't want to talk about that again. I don't want to put Craig in the same light as Sandusky.
How did they do against Pitt this year? I can't remember.
They lost on.
Oh, okay, that's right.
On a dropped pass. So yes, Brian. But
Keyword
what has
lost.
Pitt done since then? Nothing.
I really don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So they Penn State is ranked 24.
Oh, good.
Pitt is not ranked. Why are you bringing up Pitt anyway? You're a Lockhaven guy.
I don't know because I know that loss stung a little bit for the Penn State fans.
Not really. I always said Pitt's not a rival to us. It's Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State. We are a Big Ten team.
It's an in-state rivalry.
It's not an in-state rivalry. We don't even care about the rivalry. Pitt has to have this so-called rivalry to make their program look good.
They did a really good job.
Well, no, because they still suck. Who else are they going to beat? I'm trying to tell you, Brian, that we had to fill their stands. When they scheduled Penn State, they had the first ever sellout season tickets because all of Penn State bought the season tickets because it cost $150 to buy a season ticket plan for Pitt. When a single standalone ticket for the Pitt-Penn State game was over $150. So Penn State fans, being the business-minded people that they are, were like, we can just buy a whole season package, not to worry about the tickets going up, and then we can sell the tickets for like $5 afterwards and make more money back.
If they're so smart and so business savvy, why do they have to hire Lock Haven graduates? Like, because they're superior, the education they get outranks Penn State, and they're like, wait a second, this resume is incredible. Where did you go to school? Oh, Lock Haven. You're hired.
First of all, that's not how it went down. We're opening a new building or program for entrepreneurs.
We need innovators.
We need somebody with experience. Jay, being a Lock Haven graduate, got a somewhat good education, but his experience out in the field taught him way more than in the classroom of Lock Haven, and where I've been told by a couple people named Brian and Jay and that one guy whose car was named Lucille, I can't remember, that the most education they ever had was when they worked in the mailroom.
That's hard knocks. You learn a lot about life in the mailroom.
I agree. I worked at the Penn State mailroom.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot about it.
But I did get a high quality education at Lock Haven.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Anyways.
And where did you have to come to take the tests for school?
Penn State. That's just
And
still it wasn't Penn State.
Did you sleep in?
It was State College. Okay. Mm-hmm. State College.
What campus? Where were you? Whose apartment? Who lets you stay there so you didn't have to stay in a hotel room and use hard-earned money that your mom would have to pay? Because you probably spent all your money on booze from the mailroom.
Jugs of wine, thank you. Gallon jugs of wine, boxes of wine.
Well, on with the story. Who, Brian?
Well, it was you, but I was doing it because I thought maybe you want to hang out with your friend.
Hang on. Brian, you slept the whole time. You were on that couch sleeping. I got to get to bed early. I got to take the test in the morning, blah, blah, blah.
It's a half-hour drive. I could have driven from Lock Haven.
But you didn't. Brian.
All right, what are we talking about for real?
I kind of forgot. No, Penn State beat Ohio State. Just wanted to rub that into Bigler's face because I know he's a huge fan. And right now, Bigler is in his glory. Cleveland Cavaliers have won a championship.
Yeah,
Cleveland Indians are in the World Series. They're up 1-0. Yeah, they're 1-0 the game. I'm not quite sure what the score is right now.
They're playing tonight too.
They're playing tonight too. Yeah. They're probably but they started at 7 o'clock because of the weather.
Third inning, fourth inning.
Yeah. So, and I love Cleveland. Me and Brian, we've been there. We had a great time.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was there with Craig. We had a good time.
Great Lakes Brewing Company, great.
Lakes Brewing, yes, you're right, exactly. We saw the Shins there.
Yeah. Beck.
I saw Frightened Rabbit.
Yeah, great music scene.
Yeah, great music scene.
Football team, not so much.
Yeah, that's like the only thing I hate about Cleveland is the Cleveland Browns. I got to root for the Cleveland Indians. I'll say I'm rooting for the Indians.
Yeah.
I want them to win. I want them to beat the Cubs because I hate the Cubs. They're arrogant, they're smug, and it's kind of remind me.
They remind me of Penn State.
Craig Kubisik.
Penn State.
Craig Kubisik.
Okay. To each their own.
To each their own.
Yeah.
Hold on. You were just. I like to say that Brian is he's just upset. He's holding grudges. He's still mad that when he couldn't go to Lock Haven and play soccer there because of all the foreigners.
That is true.
So he held a grudge against Lock Haven.
Yeah.
And I happen to know that a couple American players played on the Penn State team. So I'm pretty sure he's mad about that. But back to Cleveland. Chicago's arrogant smug. I hate Jake Arrieta. He's a dick. And let's go Cleveland Indians. Let's do it. And I'm rooting for Cleveland Cavaliers once again to get back to the NBA Finals so they can play my Warriors in a best-of-3 championship series and where the Warriors are going to dominate them.
Okay. Go Cleveland.
Go Indians. Try and trick me, Brian.
I was.
Uh-huh.
I have a question for you. I want you to use your imagination. I want you to pretend just for a minute, let's say you went to Clarion University. Just say you, or some other state school, not Lock Haven, not Pitt. We don't want to have any other biases. Let's say you went to Slippery Rock, any state school, IUP.
Okay.
Now, from an outsider's perspective, you see a bunch of Penn State fans everywhere they go, drunk, saying, "We are Penn State."
Okay, they're always not always drunk.
You're not using your imagination. Okay.
I'm using my experience as a Penn State college student.
Typically, they will go anywhere, anytime, any place, and start up this chant in the most ridiculous places. You might be in the middle of watching a movie and you're going to hear "We Are," and they fully expect everyone to say Penn State. You're in the middle of like this fancy dinner, everyone's wearing black suit tie. "We are Penn State." It's so true. Everywhere you go, they think that they should represent. I don't know. It's arrogant, it's smug, and it's unbecoming.
Okay, Brian. What'd you say? You like unbecoming?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, use your imagination as an outsider. You're not a Penn State graduate. As an IUP graduate.
An IUP graduate? I would say, it's their right to do whatever they want. They're one of the largest alumni associations in the country, and therefore they should represent. And whenever I see my IUP Crimson Hawks, I say, "Go Crimson Hawks, go!" So it's kind of always fun to see somebody from, "Where are you from, Penn State? What years you graduate?" It's kind of cool. So
You're brainwashed. You're so brainwashed.
I'm not brainwashed, man. It's an institution that I value. My experiences that I had there. There was a lot more than education. It was just a great place. I mean, 20,000 chicks.
Did he touch you?
Wow. Talk about arrogant, smug, and unbecoming, Brian. Now let me ask you to use your imagination, Brian. And I'm sure Clarion had a great education. And a lot less ugly lesbians than Lock Haven. Now let's say you root for a team like the Cleveland Browns,
Sure.
Baltimore Ravens, or you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fan.
Yeah.
And there's these fans that come in everywhere. Mexico, China, London, anywhere in the United States have their own bars. They wear a lot of black and gold. And every time they see each other, they could be at a black tie affair with a gold suit or anything like that. And they stand up and they go, "Here we go, Steelers, here we go."
Oh, like it's the Super Bowl, right?
This is like week one. And
Who does that in week one?
Let's get that one for the other. Let's get seven. Get the
Seven.
seventh to heaven, or whatever it is.
I'd say
What
that.
would you feel like? And they're always drunk and being yinzers and saying stuff like, "It was a lot better when the white people played."
They say that?
I've heard that.
I would say they're it's a blue collar town. They're hard workers. Sure, they drink a lot. Maybe they have some economic problems, and they have a lot of pride in their team. Mm-hmm. And they don't really let it spill over into every other aspect of their lives.
Oh, they don't let it spill over in every aspect of their lives. There's not people driving cars that are literally black and orange, or black and yellow, whatever it is.
Bengals?
There's a song called "Black and Yellow" that they adopted as their mantra.
All right. I mean, you've got somewhat of a point there, but it's nowhere near to the degree of annoying. That's Penn State.
It's way more annoying. You were out of your element, Donnie.
I'm glad we're playing each other this week.
Apparently, you're just going to start stuff up. You cannot tell me Steelers. I'm a Steeler fan. I will tell you that Steeler fans are jerks. They're assholes. When we were Craig
I'm a Steelers fan.
When Craig and I was at the game, when we were friendly, not in fantasy football related terms, there was a guy sitting right next to us, drunk as a skunk, challenging some fat dude to a fight, getting pissed because the 2 beers that he bought didn't taste good, and then he left and he never returned after the first half.
You're gonna find
his seat.
You're gonna find a guy like that in every stadium in every country. That's not a Steelers fan. That's just a drunk guy who watches football.
I've been to Carolina Panther game twice.
And you didn't see one drunk person.
Nothing like that at all. Nobody challenging fights. People were cordial and having a good time.
You know who has the greatest fan base? Buffalo Bills. Well, all
I
their
might agree with that.
crazy antics. I mean,
They have a great tailgate.
They do have a great tailgate.
They actually were ordered to scale it back. So,
All right, we're gonna have to cut this one.
yeah.
Unfinished business with Gags. That's right, Gigs. Golden Gayon.
Oh, nice.
So, I love the video. Let me start off with that. Love the video. However,
Fishing boy.
Detling and I think we are in agreement upon this, in that we expected not a magnificent ending to the video, but just some kind of resolution. I thought there was going to be, I kind of figured it was a lure. I thought maybe he'd put it on the end of a fishing hook. I thought maybe we'd see the finished piece. It just kind of ended abruptly.
Yes.
But however, it was intriguing. You know, it was intriguing just to watch it. I'm like, I was thinking to myself, okay, there's 2 minutes left. When is the next thing going to start? That's going to make this a little more interesting. Okay, there's 30 seconds. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
very
This is it.
methodical.
This is it. But I mean, if that's his pregame kind of methods, that's great. I mean, it's almost like meditation, and probably gets him in the zone. Not that you really need to be in the
gotta be in
zone.
the zone
Yeah,
to do
you have to be in the zone. And I will say that the finished product was pretty awesome. Like the picture of it.
I don't know if I saw the picture.
Oh yeah, you have to check it out.
I watched the video for 5 minutes of work, and like I gotta admit, like after like 30 seconds, I was tired. I
really?
was like, I what is he doing? And he's doing all the moving his things, and I was just like, it's gotta be fishing related. I said, but I don't fish, so I was like, I don't think I could do that for 5 minutes.
So maybe it was like a subliminal message to you, and he was trying to get to you. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't. My girlfriend wouldn't let me have enough time by myself to do that. Maybe it changed. Maybe it's different when you get married and have kids.
Is that a cry for help?
No, I'm just saying that after a certain amount
She's smothering you?
she does not smother me. She just likes to be around me. A lot.
She likes you a lot.
We say that actually.
really?
Yeah, we say. I like you a lot. And she likes says it back, so I crack up.
That's cute.
And I say, I had to ask her, like we were doing for like a week ago. Have you ever seen that movie?
That's great because she doesn't watch movies.
Right. Yeah, exactly. She's like, yeah, I've seen it. I was like, okay. I just want to make sure. I didn't want to see you just saying it because you thought it was funny. I was like, because I wanted you to have like.
You're like, you know that's from a movie, right?
Right. Yeah. Now we have our moments with that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's
so.
good. So, anyways, enjoyed the video. A look into Gag's, other hobbies. Just would have enjoyed a better ending.
Well, if this keeps up, I enjoy the people throwing different things out at us, like besides not fantasy football.
Yeah.
And I look forward to like the 30-minute long video of Kevin Bean canning vegetables or fruits, like
it's coming.
yeah, or like doing wine and gardening.
Yeah.
So him and Gags can send videos back and forth.
You look forward to that?
I mean,
It kind of
pretty
change of pace. Yeah.
change the pace. Hey, if he wants to put a cooking thing out there and show us how to make something, that'd be great. Show me how to make that blueberry pie or something. I'll do it and say I knew how to do it the whole time.
And you can invite us over and we can taste test it.
Right. Well, yeah, we can do that. I like it.
All right, what else you got?
My other unfinished business goes out to Gags.
Wow.
Hey, Gags, how you doing over there, buddy? You a little hurt? Is your butthole a little puckered?
Oh,
Did
jeez.
you get slapped around a little bit?
Wow. Wow. And Jimmy, this is your friend. This is your best friend. Just so we know, this is your best friend being all humble after this win. Go ahead.
This is true. I can't even pull up the stupid page. I hate iPads. But no, it was, Gags was trying to say everything. You won the game, 20 points, blah, blah, blah. And he's just sitting there like, setting it up perfect. I was like, don't even try to say that it's already over. Monday night, 20 points. DT can get it anytime. I know. And boom, sure enough, he has like 14 points in like the first quarter. And I'm like, I'm screwed. I ended up staying up to watch it. And I was mad about that.
I thought you were screwed.
Once I saw that, it was like not in the second half. I was like, all it needs is 6 points. I was like, it's over.
Lucky for you, they were up.
They were up. But I mean, I survived. Jordan Nelson had 1.9. Amari Cooper had like 6 point something. And then my stupid self getting cute, putting in Chester Rogers over Willie Snead got me 5 points. Oh my God, it was terrible.
Would have lost you easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like, what was it, 6-1-5? Yeah, Antonio Brown had more points than all three of my receivers.
Wow.
That's not even counting what Julio Jones putting up another 29 some points. And Brian can tell you, I'm over here. I'm beating my chest. 2-1 versus Julio Jones, baby. Bring it on. Trade him to some other team. Do it, guys. You want to do this to me? I got all season.
We might see him in the playoffs.
Well, then I got a 500 record against them if I don't win it. So, well, I am happy I won, and it was a monster climb. Gags, I fully say you should have won, and I got lucky, but I'll tell you what, I'd rather be lucky than good.
Even the losers.
Oh, that's Vinny's song, man.
All right. I really didn't think you were going to pull that win out at all. So to hear you being this cocky over a win that you squeaked out.
It's happiness.
Oh, happiness.
I'm not saying Gags, I'll get you every time. I'm saying Gags, I got you.
Cockiness when you're beating your chest like that, that's cocky. That's not happiness.
That's the cockiness on Julio Jones.
Okay,
Not
okay.
Gags. And
All
first of all, Brian, I know to tame my cockiness down from watching you implode, going 1-0 or whatever, and
Lost
formerly
like
going
the
like
next
1-4
3,
or
yeah.
something. So I don't, for a second, I'm not going to toot my horn too much.
Well, that brings me up to my next unfinished business.
Imagine that.
Will the real Huber Squasher please stand up?
Oh, why are you standing up?
Beat both Hubers this year, baby. 2-0.
You can't be the real Huber Squasher.
I see you're sitting and I'm standing. And I said, will the real Huber Squasher stand up?
Because I'm questioning your motives here. You can't say you're the Huber Squasher.
I mean, I clearly squashed them.
Yeah, but your overall record is not as good as mine.
Well, we'll see what happens this year.
Overall
Yeah.
from the years that we played.
That's just my way of... I was based...
The detonators,
Oh, yeah.
or convincingly or conveniently the Diarmans.
I was wondering if you saw that.
Of course I saw it. And I thought to myself, why bother with the Diarmans? Like, I mean, could you at least like go back to your team name from that original year?
Ooh, that's a good idea. I will bring this up. I brought this up more for Jimmy than you, just because he's my sworn enemy. He brought it up, not me. So,
You
yeah.
had to push the envelope.
I'm the Huber Squasher. Jay, no offense to you. I really didn't squash you. I just kind of beat you, but I squashed your brother. Last time I can recall, I put over 200 points on him, 2 Hondos.
Oh,
So, I am the Huber Squasher this year. Maybe not forever, but this year so far. And if you're lucky enough to get to the playoffs, Jimmy, I'll do it again. In case you forgot how it happened.
Man, jeez, rubbing salt in the wound. I'll tell you what, Jimmy. I'll try my hardest to beat him this week for you. I'll be the Volsco Swasher.
Doesn't have the same ring.
Does not, but I'll come up with something.
All right, you got anything else?
No, not unfinished business, basically.
This is kind of potential finished business. Just kind of, I want to throw it out there. Have you ever heard of those death polls, where you're wondering, like, in real life, like, who will be the next celebrity to die?
I can't say that I have.
I hadn't either until our other commissioner, Ben, brought it up. I guess his family's really into this. Like, they actually do these death polls.
Really?
Yeah, like, they'll say, like, who's going to die next. And usually, like, Keith Richards is up there because of, like, his, like, drinking and drug use. Lane Staley was up there all the time. Scott Weiland. So they look at, like, it's sick.
They
It's sick.
research this.
Really sick.
Well, first of all, Keith Richards is going to live forever.
That's true, so I would never put money on him. So anyways, I bring this up because let's have our own Tonto's Demise death poll. Not in reality, but fantasy. Who do you think will be the first person to croak this year, Josh or Jet?
You put me in a tough spot here. I even.
I mean, they're still
Well,
2
now-
losses away, but
Well, now it's Josh from that trade. But before I would have said, the Armors, Brian.
that wasn't an option.
Well, I mean, I looked at the overall league. First one to croak, right? There's plenty of season left.
All right, final choice?
Josh.
Yeah, me too. What are we, crazy?
No, right?
Side note, I think it's funny how like most of the league actually thinks Josh is going to quit the league after this season.
Yeah. What, the whole like fire thing, and we're gonna
Yeah.
kick him out. Well, if we keep pushing, he probably will quit.
I know.
But I like how Bean said it, and then Josh did go. He's like, "Wait, seriously? Seriously, guys?"
Seriously, you think I'm quitting? It's funny how like a joke turns into something that people forget it's a joke,
Yeah.
or maybe never realize it was a joke.
It's true. Well, it's like that exercise they teach you when you're a kid, when everybody sits around in a circle and somebody starts to whisper in the ear
Oh,
to the
yes,
right and
yes,
it comes all the way
yes.
around. It's
Telephone.
completely different.
Yep.
Is it telephone? I thought it was
Yeah.
like elephant trunk, but whatever. I don't know. Different places.
You grew up in Denver.
I did grow up in Denver. It was a different, great place. Great. I love Denver. Actually, Golden, Colorado, sir.
Okay, Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado.
Okay. But yeah, Josh, I don't want you to quit the league, but I could see how you would want to after losing so badly.
Or the trading is what I think.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, you would be like
you should be
shamed.
shamed. Yeah.
With your tail between your legs.
Yeah, because like 10 of the 12 teams are going shame, shame, shame.
And what's the other one
The
doing?
other one is laughing.
Yeah.
His name's Craig Kavicic. He's laughing at you. He's not even helping you as we're going shame. He probably threw a rock at you.
I think that's the last thing I have for unfinished business goes out to Tree. I'll just make this quick.
Okay.
Why couldn't you do your part? You had one job. One
True.
job. Beat Craig in week 7. That's all you had to do. And you couldn't do it. You could beat everybody else. You could find a way to win against everyone else. Why couldn't you find a way to win to beat Craig?
That's right. Craig should be 2-5
Yeah.
right now. Sheesh.
Somehow
it's a shame.
you let him squeak by.
Yeah, you didn't tree him.
I know.
What's up with that?
We're supposed to wait till Monday night and tree him.
That's right. I mean, come on. You treat me. Ridiculous. Treat everybody else. I can remember like gags and stuff.
So now we have to relive last year and kind of be on the edge of our seat to see who is going to give him his fatal blow.
If in fact he does get that fatal blow. I'm praying that Brian does the last nail in the
That
coffin.
would be awesome.
Yeah. And you can laugh at him the whole
And I would make it into the playoffs. That would be beautiful.
Yep, yep.
Beautiful. Poetic justice.
Great movie.
Yeah. We've said this on multiple occasions.
Okay. Sorry.
All right.
One
I
of
think-
Tupac's finest.
Yeah, I think that's all I have for unfinished business.
Okay.
good?
Yes. Okay.
I do have one more thing, Delling. Since it is our matchup this week, this one goes out to you. I had 2 letters written down, TB, and I was like, what's that all about? And they're like, oh, yeah, now I remember. This dates back a few weeks, and I see you're yawning, but you're going to have to wake up because you're going to have to respond.
Okay.
Brogan must be making you tired or something. I don't know.
Well, you didn't give me my.
She is smothering you, huh?
You didn't give me my cup of half calf or whatever it is.
That's true. I did not give you
Are
a...
we gonna have that or what? I mean, you're just like, I'm tired, Brian.
All right. A few weeks ago, whenever Jimmy and Jay went to the Penn State game, I can't remember who they were playing. Minnesota, was it?
I think it was Minnesota.
And we did the interview and everything with Jimmy. Great interview. You mentioned something to him about, if I would have known you had a ticket, I would have just called off work real quick and I would have been up there on Saturday. Why won't you do that for the Turkey Bowl? And please address your fellow teammates. I don't know if any of them are actually out there. No.
I'm in the league, sir.
Okay. My teammates are.
It should actually just be my fellow.
Isn't Kevin B on your team?
My fellow teammate is Zach Zanke, and because the rest of my team has dissipated, gone one way or the other. Well, let's see here.
All right, we took a short hiatus there to get some Delling his precious half calf and gave him about 10 minutes to think of his answer about why he will not take a day off for the Turkey Bowl, but he will take a day off for a Penn State game. We are.
It was if I would have got the ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, first of all, the Penn State thing would have been once. It doesn't happen too often that I get to go to a Penn State game. And also get to hang out with the Huber brothers. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. The whole Huber brother clan.
Yeah.
And they're offering you a ticket to a Penn State game. You're in your element with all these guys.
Yeah.
And it gives us a chance to grow out my bond with Jimmy. And become friends even more.
I get why you would do that. I get why you would do the Penn State game, but I don't get why you wouldn't sacrifice a day for the Turkey Bowl. This tradition that we started way back when we were all unemployed, played an entire regular season in Zach Zanke's backyard. Why will you not give up one day a year to come out and play this game.
Yeah, like how you said, entire regular season. That is true. I think I was the only one that was employed at the time.
Toys R Us?
Yeah, Toys R Us. I was a stock boy.
And I wanted that job. I interviewed for it.
Wanted it as well, and both of you were mad because you didn't get it. And it's because I wore a polo shirt to the interview, and I was like, "Hello, guys, interview 101. You at least dress up for the interview."
I was wearing flip-flops.
And a T-shirt. So yeah, there's a reason you didn't get it. You look like a slob.
It was an overnight stock position.
Yeah, but the daytime managers are the ones that make the decision.
All right. So, anyways, you're employed, but why would you not today take a day off to come and support a tradition that's a lot longer than you've been at Penn State? Well, actually, you've been at Penn State longer. Anyways.
That's not true, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, well. All right. Well, quite simply, Brian, the tales of the Turkey Bowl lore and time after time. Actually, I was just going to start singing random songs.
Kevin Bean is in his car right now.
Yes. We could interview Kevin Bean or we could talk to myself. No. So, quite simply, the Turkey Bowl started to lose its luster. I started losing interest when certain people, like the so-called captain of the other team, wouldn't even let his own wife play on his team.
You're such a politician.
I'm just trying to say that if it's your wife, you would probably want her on your team and not be like, "No, babe, you play on the other team," because I want to have an advantage. Because I think that you're not that good.
You're so like Trump. Like, you clearly haven't answered the question, but now you've redirected everyone's attention to the fact that I one time didn't pick her first round.
I think the guy who doesn't want women on his team is like Trump.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm always out for the female vote. Make Tonto's demise great again. And I'd also like to say how Craig went out of his way to say, "Throw me the damn ball," because Crystal was covering him. And he went after play after play after play to make sure to line up against her because he's not that good. And he's like, "I can beat Crystal." And I was like, "Dude, why are you being a jerk?"
Is it because you're too old?
No, I'm not even done yet. I just like to say that those are some reasons there. And I thought when I was a 5-5 tie, I thought it should have been done because then we started doing things like we started bringing in the kids, started bringing in Tree Sice's ex-wife or woman, and then I started thinking, it's not as fun for me anymore because
Because she's a woman?
No, because it's not the group core players that we had. I wanted my guys, like it was Datling's douchebags versus Volsko's vaginas. And speaking of that, that's another thing. You were demeaning women with the team name.
So were you.
I am not. I'm Datling's douchebags. I'm not saying anything about women.
All right. What are douchebags used for? And who are they used by?
A douchebag is a term of calling a bro a dick. Like, you're a douchebag, Brian. Stuff like that. I'm not trying to use it for like a conventional customer item. No, the Turkey Bowl.
You woke Noel up. You happy?
I did not. The Turkey Bowl is not what it used to be. Therefore, I don't think it's worth me taking a day off of work and losing money when I come up to my team and it's only me and Zach, and then you're going to say, "You take Kevin Bean because we don't want him on our team."
That's not true.
It is true.
Well, after you threw the couple picks, yeah.
You literally have said, "I will not have Kevin Bean on my team again."
I didn't say those words.
That was the way it was worded. You said just because we lost, because he threw interceptions, it's all Kevin Bean's fault. I blame him, and we will
That
not
doesn't
have
even
him on our
sound
team
like
again.
me. That doesn't even sound like me.
Kevin Bean, I am giving you the shortened form of what Brian said. It was in great detail.
I may have said, "You get him next year." But I would have not have said that, he was the complete reason for our demise, no pun intended. Again, you're so good at deflecting. Last thing I'll say about all of this is, you say that the teams change and everything. Sure, they change. The Steelers change. People retire. People move on. But the show doesn't stop, That tells me you were just too old, too brittle. You retired. You couldn't be like Steve Smith Sr.
First of all, I get a lot of cheap shots taken at me when I'm on that field. I know I've gone up for many catches, and Craig has pushed me right in the back, point blank, trying to throw me to the ground. And second of all, your team hasn't changed at all. Tree Sice, Stan, you,
Kabisik.
Kabisik, who you brought on to cover me because I was unstoppable. and I still burned him from 2 long touchdowns the first game back. Klinicki, who you made become the all-time QB, I guess, right? No, you made him go to our team.
He wanted to be traded.
Probably because you complained about him too much.
Whatever.
Probably were like, you're just a chucker. You chuck the ball. That's why we're losing.
I think you came up with that name. It's probably Zach. Anyways, we're getting way off track.
You brought it up.
Yeah, I know. Bought him.
If we could go back and I could get myself somebody like maybe Rich Bozak. Rich Bozak wasn't that good throwing the ball. But you give me like Andy Roman, I'll be in their heartbeat.
You know, you say Richard Bozak wasn't that great of a quarterback. What jersey did he wear?
You were Dan Marino.
Case closed.
There's no case closed, Brian. That's not the actual person. What jersey do you wear?
Cordell, baby.
Yeah, okay, good. Case closed. You dance around like a freaking fool when you score. Like you're the best things in sliced bread.
What jersey did you used to wear?
I still have it. I still wear it. One of the greatest cornerbacks ever, Ty Law. Hall of Famer, probably. From Aliquippa.
Anyways.
Give me Bigler. Get me Bigler out there. I get some speed. I'll take Kevin Bean. Why not? That guy's a little meatball. He'll throw you for a loss.
Are you trying to say that you would come out and play this year? You're saying this right here, right now, if Bigler and Bean were to play as well?
No, I'm not trying to say
Jim
that.
Crick came out last year.
No, did he really?
Brought the whole family.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, that's right. And Craig tried to murder his nephew.
Yep.
That's another thing.
Too violent for you?
Violent for you. Craig is taking it too far.
All right, we got to move on.
Yes, we do. Please leave your message.
Oh, gentlemen of the podcast. Time for Little Bean is Talking, and there is much to talk about this week. First off, I would like to thank Craig for getting out the recap so quickly. Gave me something to do when I was sitting alone in my hotel room, and I'm realizing now the words right out of my mouth how weird that sounds. But you know what? I'm going with it. Judge me all you want. Second, I would like to say, fuck kickers. Fuck them so hard. And not even like a good, like, oh, I'm getting a lot out of this hard, but like turn a pineapple sideways hard. Like fuck kickers. Cost me that. Whatever. I'm not going to do it anymore. Fuck kickers. Third, as I'm sure everybody will be addressing on the podcast today, the trade that went down. I don't see this as a trade I would veto. I mean, Craig clearly got the better end of this trade. I think we all recognize that Jay Ajayi on Miami Dolphins offense is not going to light the world on fire going forward. He's certainly not going to have, just 200-yard game after 200-yard game. And Spencer Ware, clearly has a better situation. But Craig did exactly what you're supposed to do. You get a guy that's caught a bit of luck. He's riding high. You sell that guy high. You get as much value as you can for him in that moment, and you come out ahead. Similarly, if you see a guy like Odell Beckham right now, who's been playing for shit, if you think that he's going to come on strong, in the second half of the season, you buy low. You do what you can to get that guy while he's having a rough patch. And then that's how fantasy football is played. I mean, I personally am not mad at the trade because it helps me this week, not to face Spencer Ware against Indy. But in general, I mean, would I have liked Spencer Ware? I sure would have. But I can't be that mad at it. Craig played the game the way it's supposed to be played. And, there's at least an arguably decent value back and forth between the two guys. It's not like he traded, Adrian Peterson in his prime for, Wendell Smallwood. So I think you guys I feel like people are overreacting about this. So that's my 2 cents on the trade, which I'm sure Detling will disagree with and will be very hot about that. But there you go. I just wanted to defend the guy a little bit. And, we would have made the same trade if we could have gotten away with it. So,
Well, that was weird. I guess my phone must have cut him off. It must have a maximum of 3 minutes. for the messages.
Yes, so now we know.
Yeah. Wow. I've never heard Bean stop talking so abruptly.
That's true. It's very true.
While that wasn't quite as entertaining, I do appreciate his insight on this latest trade. While we might not agree with it, but it's one man's opinion.
It is one man's opinion, but I would also he likes to get the most value he can for a guy that has his two flashes in the pan, so to speak, and you try to get. Yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, this is also the guy that traded Julio Jones because he thought he was going to have a rough schedule, like for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and didn't consider the big picture of having him for the entire season, and cost me a game. So I don't agree with you, Bean. I think that this is a terrible trade. Hey, Craig got the better of it. It's just it's a thing that he found somebody to hit the accept button, even when if he was on some drugs or alcohol or whatever. But the thing is that we know Craig is well known for this every year, and that's why I thought we had grown and learned from our experiences and kept him out of the trade market.
But clearly we haven't.
Right, clearly we haven't, and we are still giving him gifts.
All right, one more thing. You know how Trump has, since we're in the political season, he's got and I guess Clinton for that matter, they all have their surrogates going out there speaking on their behalf and trying to say the same message. I would not be surprised if Kubicek paid Bean to call in and kind of give his side of the story just to kind of soften the blow and kind of give him a better PR spin. So you know what, Bean, if you want to be a surrogate for Craig, the big guy upstairs will remember that whenever you're at the pearly gates.
And Brian, I have said,
or big woman, whatever.
I have said time and time again that if there's anybody in the league that is fit and has the hairstyle of Trump, it is Craig. If you take a look at that hair, it is the same as Donald Trump. It's just dark hair. So I don't know if Craig uses hairspray or anything like that, but that's what it is. And the rest of anything else I have to say about being with the Kickers, fully understand you, sir. I had to watch that Sunday night game. I would have loved for Hauska to kick a 27-yarder and give me +3.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was cheering because Catanzaro was missing field goals and not giving me -3.
How did Bean lose 12 points on that? I really don't know. He said he lost 12 points on that.
He had the Cardinals defense, so I'm assuming from whatever the points were.
Gotcha.
So,
I watched the highlights of that. That was brutal.
Yeah, so he didn't get the +3, and I'm assuming like the score. I think it was like 6-3, so he had 3 points overall. Would have got more points with that way.
Gotcha.
For the score, so that's why he's complaining. So that's all we have to say. Thank you for your message, and hopefully that drive back from Harrisburg was good, and you didn't go too crazy.
10-4.
10-4, good buddy. This week's matchups. Ow.
That hurt.
Why, Larry? Why? All right. The first matchup we have on the docket today is none other than FC Bohoric versus From Gags to Riches. How the mighty have fallen to third place. Not very far.
He could have been in first, too.
He could have been in first. Let's start off here, Brian. Let's go. Matt Ryan versus Andy Dalton, which I think actually will stay that way. Maybe as Cam Newton. He'll probably stick with Dalton. Yeah. All right, so Matt Ryan versus Andy Dalton.
I'm going to give that to Andy Dalton up against Washington. Green Bay's got a pretty tough defense.
It's true. It's in home. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give that to Andy Dalton as well, the Red Rifle. Although they are in London.
Oh, is it?
So that's a different type of.
It's like back-to-back
beast
London games, huh?
It is back-to-back. I'm not a fan of it.
No.
I like the one a year.
Yeah.
Usually involving Jacksonville.
Yeah. That's their team.
Yeah. I'm changing my mind. I'm going with Matt Ryan strictly because it's at home in Atlanta versus Green Bay.
Gotcha.
And I think Green Bay has a couple injuries on the defensive side.
Okay.
So you're sticking with Andy Dalton?
Oh, yeah.
All right. The receivers, Ty Montgomery versus Demaryius Thomas.
I'm going to go with Demaryius Thomas on this. I wish he could get Ty Montgomery in the flex, I understand why he can't, but it would be a really nice thing.
I agree. I might be the last week or last couple weeks you use Montgomery, and I think only in Yahoo, he's not allowed to be put in the running back position. I've heard in other fantasy leagues he is now.
That right?
Yeah, because when it's just like baseball, when you get so many plays, they get you in a different position.
Usually, that doesn't apply until the following year.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. I don't know. I have to look maybe in ESPN because I didn't pick him up there. Darn, I wish I would have. Some other league I have him.
Are you taking?
I'm taking Montgomery
Wow.
just because he's gonna get way more touches.
You just hate gags, huh?
I don't. I'm just being Montgomery right now is in full effect,
All right.
and DT is not. So, but he is playing against San Diego. So, but I'm going Montgomery. What about you?
I'm going gags.
You're going Gags. All right. Next we got Michael Floyd versus Julio Jones. I'm going Julio Jones.
Yeah, clearly. Julio.
Clearly.
Wow, look at Justin's receivers. They all have Qs.
Yes, they do. Q. Okay, next one is Tyrell Williams versus Devontae Adams. Gags is putting Devontae Adams in, hoping that he could replicate last week.
And I think he's the one who said, you don't chase, fantasy points.
I believe he
Especially
is.
players like that.
Yep.
Gonna go Tyrell Williams.
Dude, I'm going Devontae Adams only because Tyrell Williams is playing against Denver.
Good point. Good
So,
point. I changed
at
my mind.
Denver.
Devontae Adams.
Okay, now for running backs, we have C.J. Anderson, who is doubtful at the moment, versus Frank Gore. And if we were to look at the bench players for Justin,
Got a lot of people on bye.
he does. That's pretty slim. He's got Duke Johnson Jr.
Well, then that's what he's gonna have to do probably.
Yeah, versus the Jets.
Wow, that's not good.
That's bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Gore.
Yeah, by default, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Against Kansas
Okay, Zach Zenner versus Chris Thompson. You know what? I'm actually going to give this to Zach Zenner because Thompson, I believe, he gets the majority of his work is pass catching.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I'm hoping my boy Dwayne Washington's back this week to steal some of those touches from Zenner, but I'm still gonna give it to Zenner.
Okay, sounds good.
Which is funny because he's projected at 2.8.
I know, it is. It's really bad. I feel bad. Justin, I mean, hey, I got some running backs. I'm pretty deep at running back. Make me an offer. Just saying. All right. I think is it for tight ends? Is it Cameron Brate? Whatever
Yeah, I think so.
the tight end for Tampa Bay versus Travis Kelce. I'm going Kelce.
I'm going Kelsey, but Kelsey hasn't done a lot lately.
Yeah, he's going against Indianapolis.
He got like 3 targets.
He's bound to bust out.
Yeah, probably will happen against Indianapolis.
In the flex position, we got James White versus Rashard Matthews.
Wow, is he having some bye week blues? Why does he have Rashard Matthews in there?
He's having a lot of bye week blues.
Yeah.
No Brown, no Gurley.
Wow.
McCoy's hurt.
I'm definitely gonna go James White on that.
Me too. Hopefully, he gets a lot of pass catches for Justin there.
Yep.
Kickers.
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't care? All right. I'm going McManus.
All right.
Tennessee D versus Jacksonville and New England versus Buffalo.
I'm gonna give that to Tennessee because Blake Bortles been doing nothing lately.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Tennessee as well. They like to sack a lot, and like I said, Black Bortles, Blake Bortles. I don't say Blake very often. Sorry, I apologize.
Mike
Thomas great against terrible. Try to make Craig Donald Trump, and I'm the one that. Well, I didn't say anything bad. Just said the color
positive, yeah.
black. Jeez, Brian. Okay, so overall, who are you going with, Brian?
In good conscience, I can't give it to Jut, even though I want to. So, but if there's any week you're gonna take Gags down, it's this week.
Or last week?
Or last week. I'm gonna give it to Gags with my brain, but my heart's going with Bajork.
All right, I'm going to go and say with my brain and my heart, I'm going to give it to Bajork. I think somehow, some way, he beats Gags, and he is a very happy man here, and he gets out of the basement a little bit. So on to the next matchup.
And the next matchup, we have the Dub C Hooligans, currently in 5th place, going up against Torque Kabisik, staring up from the basement. And so far, it's actually a pretty tight matchup. Torque's only
That's
down.
because nobody's played, Brian.
That's,
Still 0-0.
that's really good. The projections I was talking about.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Torque is only about 5 points lower. Now, I would think that if you had Spencer Ware in there, you'd probably have a higher projection. What do you think?
I would definitely think so. You'd have some really good depth at running back as well.
It's too bad neither one of these teams has Spencer Ware in their lineup.
You're right, and I guess if you were thinking about keeper value, I would think that Tom Brady in like the 4th or 5th round or whatever Justin got him was pretty good.
That's really good.
I'd also think Stephon Diggs
Yeah, that's a
is
great
pretty good,
keeper.
and there would be no reason to have a Jay Ajayi on your roster for keeper of value,
Why
quote
do you have
unquote.
him in the lineup?
Ajayi?
Yeah.
Because he's on a bye week.
Why would
So
you trade for a player?
why wouldn't you use?
Bye.
Why would you not have Spencer Ware in there to play a full another week against Dub C, where if you had Spencer Ware, you would have more points projection?
Clearly, we can't let this go.
Clearly, no, not for a while. So, without further ado, let's go to the quarterbacks, Brian.
Alrighty, quarterbacks. Brady versus Breeze. This is a huge matchup here.
Yeah, and versus Seattle and Buffalo, or else I would have been with Breeze there.
I'm going to give that to Brady.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Brady as well. Yeah. Oh, that cat just went running. All right. Wide receivers. We got Emmanuel Sanders versus Julian Edelman.
Julian Edelman turned into that PPR machine, but I'm going to go Sanders.
I will go with Sanders as well. They're playing San Diego, and like they said, their one cornerback is gone for the year, so
Did
smooth
Brady
sailing.
trade for Brady just so it could save the Brady to Edelman connection?
I don't know. You'll have to ask him at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Okay, we got Golden Tate versus Jeremy Maclin. I'm going Maclin versus Indianapolis.
Yeah, just because I do not want Tate to keep on stealing Marvin Jones targets, so I'm going to also say Macklin.
Well, apparently the benching lit a fire on him or something like that he was talking about. Let's see here. Well, I guess I want Tate to get more targets this week.
Yes, you do.
Next down the line is Jordan Matthews versus Stephon Diggs. I'm going Stephon Diggs. It's Monday night. It's a big game, and versus Chicago. So I feel like this might be the one time Diggs has a big game. And he's pretty much been silent since that last big game.
I disagree. Stephon Diggs is pretty good against, or the Chicago D's is pretty good against the pass.
Are they?
Yeah, I'm going to go Jordan Matthews because Detroit's D is not the greatest, even though I'm going to be playing them against you. So, yeah.
It's Dallas defense.
Oh, jeez. I can't read. I need new glasses.
To be fair, Brian has a baby that he's holding now, and he's doing a bob, so...
All right.
At least you got the D right.
Again.
And the Detroit defense is right below, so...
Against Dallas.
Okay, all right. All right, running backs. We got Lamar Miller versus Detroit, Brian.
Okay.
So it was right below.
Gotcha.
And Jerick McKinnon versus Chicago. I got to go Lamar Miller if he plays.
Me too. I hope he doesn't because I picked up Bang Bang Chicken and Shrimp.
I hate that saying so much.
You love it.
I do not.
I'm also going to go Lamar Miller if he plays. If not, obviously McKinnon
Right?
or Matt Asiata. Oh, wait, he doesn't have him.
No. I mean, he's on the bench apparently because that depth of a running back he has too much depth for him to play now. Next running back is Devontae Booker versus Lamar Murray.
Lamar
And
Murray.
Latavius Murray. Sorry, I got caught up on the Lamar Miller. I like Lamar better than Latavius. Those Greeks. Let's see. I'm going to go Latavius Murray is what I'm going to do.
Even though we hate him.
We do. But and Devontae Booker, if CJ Anderson's out too, though, that's a good matchup as well.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to go Murray because I think he vultures touchdowns for some reason. I mean,
It's like Carlos Hyde.
oh no, Carlos Hyde's terrible.
Okay.
But Murray gets like 50 yards and a touchdown. Like that's just what he does.
I'm going to give it to Murray as well.
Yeah, okay. Let's go. Okay, next is Martellus Bennett, right?
Yep, Black
Okay.
Unicorn.
Black Unicorn versus Zach Miller. I'm going Bennett.
He's been really, really quiet ever since my boy Gronk's back, so I'm going to go Zach Miller. Although it's against Minnesota, I'm still going to go Zach Miller.
Okay. Flex position, we got Theo Riddick versus Gary Barnage.
Now, theoretically,
Oh,
Spencer
there it is.
Ware should be in that position.
Theoretically, you're correct, Brian. And theoretically, he would beat Barnage every day.
I know. I honestly don't know if Riddick is playing. And for that reason, he's been banged up, I think, with an ankle injury. So I'm going to give it to Barnage.
Well, if Riddick plays, I'm going to go with Riddick because Barnage is playing against the Jets.
Yeah,
I don't think tight ends historically do well against them.
that's true.
Kickers,
Vinatieri.
Vinatieri, the old man, always. That's the best player in Josh's team. At least he's my favorite player on your team, Josh. Defensively, we got Arizona at Carolina and Cincinnati versus Washington.
Arizona looks so good.
They do. They're coming off that tough loss, and they're playing in Carolina. What say you, Brian?
Arizona.
I'm going with Arizona as well.
I don't think either defense is going to do amazing, but I think Arizona's going to get more points.
I think you're. Oh man, yeah, I think you're correct.
Cincinnati might shut down Kirk Cousins.
Never. That would never happen. I do agree. It might not be his best game though. And who do you think is going to win?
Overall, I'm going to give this to Dubsy Hooligans. I would have given it to Twerk if he had one different player.
What player would that be, Brian?
I believe it would be Spencer Ware.
Spencer Ware?
Yeah.
I would agree with you too.
Spencer for hire.
Spencer for hire. Jeez, oh man. I'm going with Kevin. I think he's going to pull this one out, and I think it comes down to the defense in the end, actually. So, good luck to the both of you. Well, you both need it. All right, on to the next matchup.
Matchup, we have the Mighty Midgets going up against Possum Magic. The Magic ran out last week against Kabisic, unfortunately. And he's holding on to first place. And you know what? I will say this for Teresa. In his corner, he actually does have the most points in the league, which is rare. He's usually sitting in first place with like 200 points less than somebody sitting in ninth place. So I'll give him this credit. He has the points. I'm not sure how he got them this year, but he's got the points.
Because he delved into voodoo.
Well, Possum Magic. I mean, his logo says it all.
That's what I'm saying. He's gone into
Yeah.
the dark arts.
Yeah. He doesn't know what he's doing with it, you know.
Can't control. He's going to
Yeah.
lose. Well, Craig beat him. He didn't. He must have mixed the wrong potion.
All right, let's get into this matchup. We got Aaron Rodgers going up against Tyrod Taylor. I guess Big Ben's not back yet, huh? Well, they're on the bye, but he wouldn't be back anyway.
Nah, he wouldn't be. So that's 2 weeks. We'll see what happens on the third week.
Dr. Detling. I'm going to go with Rodgers.
Yeah, you got to go with Rodgers. I mean, versus Atlanta and Tyrod Taylor versus New England, it's just not a recipe for it's a recipe for disaster. Is what it is. Wide receivers: Allen Robinson versus AJ Green. AJ Green.
Obviously, Allen Robinson's probably one of the biggest disappointments this year from a receiver.
Yeah, I would say so. But he has him like in the 16th round or something.
That's true.
But AJ Green is probably is he the best receiver in fantasy
He
football?
might be in
I would
terms
say
of like yards and average points. He probably is.
That's pretty amazing, actually. All right, so we're both going AJ Green.
Yep.
Next is Jamison Crowder versus Quincy Enunwa. And I'm going Jamison Crowder. This guy, I wish I would have picked him up because the Cousins to Crowder connection sounds a lot better than the Cousins to Jackson connection right now.
Yeah, I get that. And Nunwall, he might break a big play possibly, and he could against Cleveland, but I think Crowder's a better bet.
I do too, and I like this move here. We got Des Bryant coming back.
Wow.
And versus Cole Beasley. There's a little bit of a tiff in the lineup earlier today. Somebody's saying, why didn't anybody care about when somebody was trading Des Bryant when we didn't know when he was coming back and he was hurt, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, because he's Des Bryant.
Exactly.
He's not he's a star.
He's not Jay Ajayi.
Jay Ajayi. And with that being said, I picked Cole Beasley.
Wow.
Because he's Dak Prescott's guy, and it's Philly defense.
Good point. Just to be different, I'm going to go Des Bryant. Comes back, gets a touchdown.
All right. I like it. I mean, it's going to be in Dallas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would love for Des Bryant to get a touchdown. Next is Matt Forte versus Isaiah Crowell. The Crow.
The Crow.
Got to go Forte versus Cleveland.
Yeah, he is questionable, but I think he's always questionable anymore.
I think so too.
So I'm going to go Forte.
He did like 30 rushes last week, so I think that they're just starting to they're going to run him into the ground.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be holding on to Bilal Powell the entire year and never get to use him.
Probably.
I mean, it would be nice just for 1 week. Just 1 week. Let Forte rest up. You know, he gets banged up a little bit too much. Give me 1 week. That's all I ask. So, yeah, Forte.
Okay, we got Niles Davis versus Jeremy Hill. Gotta go Jeremy Hill.
Yeah, as well. And Niall Davis, he's newly acquired, huh?
Yes, he was acquired pretty much on Tuesday last week, and they had to
Wow.
play Thursday, so he didn't. I mean, what are you gonna do? Give him draw plays up in the sand?
Right, and he's projected for 1.19. I mean, he might get more than that, but that's Yahoo's projection.
I think the only way Niles Davis would have been successful last week is if they would have given him the Wimber Ramblers playbook, which was run left, run right, run center.
Yeah.
After the 80th play, they say short pass.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so
We're going to both go
you're going
Jeremy Hill.
Yeah, it's Washington. Tight ends, we got Delaney Walker, your boy,
Yeah, my boy.
versus
I guess he's not hurt.
Hunter Henry. I guess we don't have a question mark against him,
Yeah.
so I'm still going Delaney Walker.
Me too. Against because Henry's going against Denver.
Right, yeah. Flex position, David Johnson versus Christine Michael. It's pretty tough actually, but I gotta go David Johnson.
Yeah.
That guy's. I mean, honestly, that guy's really great.
Uh-huh.
I'm just watching him. He's got almost the same type of movements as Le'Veon Bell, and he was a wide receiver before he got converted into a running back. So, no, he's awesome. So, once again, great keeper. Very jealous that you have him, but
Yep.
I mean, good job. I don't know if Jim always seems to get these great keepers.
Well, not Allen Robinson. I mean, it's good value.
This year, but
Yeah.
the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And you never know; he could come break out again.
He could playoff time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. David Johnson for sure. Kickers, don't care.
Lambeau, because he played in the MLS.
All right. And then you got Minnesota D and Carolina D.
Minnesota D.
Yeah, Minnesota D. Unfortunately.
I mean, Cutler's coming back.
But looking up and down these lineups and looking at the projections, geez, I got to give this to Mighty Midgets.
Really? Oh yeah. Well,
That Tyrod Taylor, I don't think he's going to get as much as. I mean, he's probably hoping for a shootout kind of game, and hopefully
Right.
he can get some rack up some points. But I don't know,
yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Mighty Midgets as well, reluctantly.
because you want that first place, huh?
No, I do. I think Possum's gonna pull it out, kind of. All right, I'm going Possum.
You going Possum? Okay.
Yeah, just to spite you.
Okay. Mighty Midgets.
All right. The matchup of the week.
First up, we have the home team. None other than one of the throwback names, the D-Armans. Sitting in, what, 8th place? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Versus the Huber Squasher, sitting in 2nd place. And was it the D-Armans? Was that the name of your team back then?
I hope so. I don't know. I don't know if it was the team name that actually beat you or not, but I hope it was.
I thought you would have had something more creative, like Poppin' Fresh.
Ooh, that's good. I wanted to go
was tree
to
sizes.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, yeah, we're going with the D-Armans this week. I had a couple to pick from. That's what I went with. So let's get right into the matchup. Unless you want to tell the story about Missy D-Arman.
There's no story to tell. Matchup, here we go.
Oh, pleading the
You
fifth.
sound like
Pleading
you're
the fifth.
Italian. Let's get right to the matchup. Yes, my quarterback, Kirk Cousins, versus Cincinnati in the London town.
Oh, yeah, they hate those London games. I mean, they got the travel, the jet lag. They're kind of tired. They're out, drinking pints of lager, eating the
Guinness.
I was going to. Then they got the fish and the chips. They're all hungover, greasy hangover. Yeah, he's gonna have nothing. Anyways, we got Matt Stafford all fresh going down to Houston in the Dome.
First of all, Cousins will have something, and he's going to be like, "You like that, London? You like that?"
He's playing Cincinnati, right? He's
Yes,
not
he
playing
is.
London.
No, but he's going to be screaming at it
Oh, okay.
at the fans in
Okay.
Tremblay Stadium, not Wembley.
All right, I'm gonna go Stafford.
I'm going to go Cousins.
And I'll be honest in some of these cases, but this time I really do think Stafford.
Okay. I will try to be honest as well.
Okay.
And the first receiver, none other than sexy Amari Cooper.
And touchdown, T.Y. Hilton.
Ty Hilton?
Ty Hilton.
I'm going to go with Cooper versus Tampa Bay, baby.
All right, and in that dome again, T.Y. Hilton is basically the only target that Andrew Luck looks at anymore. He's averaging like 15.
Jack Doyle.
I was waiting for you to say it. He's averaging like 15 targets a game, and he's due to break one touchdown every game, usually over 100 yards. That 19-point projection should be more like 29. I'm going T.Y. Hilton.
What? 29?
That's what he got last week, I think.
Jeez, got Jamie Peters on him. So I disagree, but whatever. At least I believe when the projection started, it was like 25 in the beginning of the week.
It was nuts.
I started watching these projections because they always start high and they start going low. Yahoo's, they just like to mess with us. And my next second receiver is none other than Jordy Nelson.
Going up against
ATL. The ATL, Brian.
Okay.
The Dirty Birds.
Okay.
Atlanta Falcons.
They're really good against the pass. Going up against MJ squared.
Are they?
I don't know.
I was going to say.
Okay. I'm
They're-
actually going to give this to you. I'm going to give this to Jordy Nelson because usually he doesn't have two bad games in a row. Marvin Jones Jr. still might have an okay game. I'm hoping he gets me 15, 20 points. But I don't know. Sometimes Jordy Nelson strings those touchdowns together.
And I'm hoping the Stafford to Jones connection does not happen. Hoping it's the Stafford to Tate. But yes, going with Jordy. Next up is appears he's got a little bit of speed back. Fast Willie Snead versus Seattle.
And then you got Mike Evans, one of the most underrated receivers in the game, averaging 20 points a game. And look at that. His projection, 21.44, going up against Oakland. I think Mike Evans takes us down. If you say otherwise, you're crazy.
I think that projection's outlandish, but I got to go Mike Evans.
Okay, thank you. I was like, if you don't say Mike Evans, you're nuts. All right, now getting into the running backs, we got Jonathan Stewart going in Arizona. It's going to be sunny. Going up against Ryan Matthews in a dome in Dallas. I'm actually going to go Ryan Matthews because I think he's going to sneak a touchdown.
What? You're out of your mind.
Arizona D.
Stewart can pound away for a couple of yards and get a touchdown himself. I'm going Stewart for a touchdown in the 50 yards
All right.
to beat Matthews 30 yards.
We got Gio Bernard going up against.
Yo!
Oh, sorry.
That's my guy.
Your guy.
What are you doing, Brian?
Go ahead. Going up against Dwayne Washington.
I didn't go yet.
All right, I thought you
Let's do dramatic effect. Pause for dramatic. Gio Bernard versus Washington.
Hey, that's my guy. All right. I don't even know if Washington's going to play. And that backfield's so packed right now. I'm going to give it to Bernard. I actually was looking at his projections, looking at his stats. Surprisingly, he's getting more rushing yards than I thought. He's traditionally just a flex guy, but
He's the number one back right now. Like he gets the number one back yards.
okay. Yeah, he's been getting like 50 to 80 yards. So I'm actually going to give it to Bernard.
All right, and me too, obviously. Next up for tight ends, Jack Doyle.
He's your guy, not mine.
Who's the guy from who's the character from 24?
Jack something.
Jack something. Crap.
I don't watch it.
I don't either.
Sparrow?
Bigler
Sparrow?
hates both of us. Jack Sparrow. No, that would have been an entirely way more entertaining series.
know.
Jack Doyle going against Kansas City.
And we got Gronk. Hoping for another Gronk smash. Going up against Buffalo. It's going to be a little stormy weather. Yeah, because the Gronk train's coming in. That makes no sense.
That does not make any sense. The Gronk train's coming in. Storms are coming.
Okay, I'm going to go Gronk. He's back, and Brady's targeting him.
Yeah, I'll go Gronk too as well.
That's why the black unicorn has faded to black.
Oh,
Sorry,
nice,
Bean.
Nice. All right, next up in the flex position, we got Greg He-Man by the power of Grayskull Olsen.
Going up against Kelvin.
Kelvin. Know your role, Brian. Know your guys.
Kelvin Benjamin. If he has a nickname, I don't know it. This is an interest. This could make or break our matchup right here because
Good.
we got the number one tight receiver going up against the tight end who's pretty much like it's 1A versus 1B. You never know.
Right.
Although Kelvin Benjamin did get 16 targets the last game, so I'm gonna go Kelvin.
I'm going to go Greg Olsen because I believe Patrick Peterson will be on Benjamin all day.
All right, fair
And
enough.
he is unequivocally probably the best cornerback in the game.
And you don't have a kicker.
Not as of yet. I forgot. Although I did want Dan Bailey, but Bigler used a waiver choice on him, and then I said I'm not using my number one.
Who is he?
waiver.
Who is he? Craig Kubisic?
I know, right? But I'll probably plug somebody in. I don't know.
All right, but we're obviously whoever you plug in, we're both going Janikowski. Am I right?
I will follow through with the Janikowski because whoever I pick, Janikowski is the better name.
And he did have 17 points last week,
Well, shit for me.
but then the week before he had 3.
That's awesome for me. Okay, so we're on tune for 3 points. I like that.
All right.
Seattle defense versus New Orleans.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Versus Detroit going up against Houston, both in a dome, both away. I mean, I honestly think this is going to be a wash. I mean, Seattle's a better defense in general, but you got Brock Osweiler and a banged-up Lamar Miller going up against, and you got Breeze and the Breeze, their aerial attack. So I think it's actually going to be a wash when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it'll probably be a wash, but there should be some one of the defenses will have probably like an interception for a touchdown or something like that.
Yeah.
That might push them ahead.
Yeah, could push it ahead.
Right. But maybe. How about this will be my last year as the Huber Squasher? Maybe.
You can't quit it.
I can't. Why? You apparently the new Huber Squasher.
I am.
Apparently you're titling yourself, taking the name from me. It's like you're like the heavyweight champion or something. Like I'm Mike Tyson, and you're whoever that Leon Spinks or somebody.
You are wearing the Iron Mike sweatshirt.
I am wearing the Iron Mike. A fantastic sweatshirt, by the way. It's
It is.
awesome. Very soft. And, well, I mean on the inside of this was, but it's very soft on the outside, too. Brian felt me up. That's what he's trying. Nobody can see us on the in the air. But, okay, on to the next matchup.
Take me through why your team is going to be victorious against the Armans this week.
Wow, we're really getting in depth.
Yeah. This is the match of the week.
This is the Well, Brian, I'm glad you asked.
It's all for the golden microphone.
The golden microphone. I like it. I like it. It's the golden spatula and the golden microphone. Well, first of all, Cousins is going to have a lot of completions because he's going to be playing from behind.
Okay.
And he probably dumped the ball off to Vernon Davis a ton of times, or Jordan Reed if he comes back. Then, also Cooper and Nelson are going to have strong rebound games, which I'm hoping. And then I believe even Willie Snead might get some garbage time. And also Stewart's going to sneak a touchdown in. I think Bernard's going to have a big game versus Washington. And I honestly think Doyle and Olsen are going to do pretty well as receivers. And my kicker might score.
If you remember to pick
If I remember. And defense of Seattle, they're coming off the best outing of the season for them. And I'm sure they want to keep going. They pride themselves. And I just think overall we're going to beat you by about 7 or 8 points.
Okay, that's respectable. I will disagree strongly.
I'd also like to point out that I am very... Hold on, let me look, make sure. At this moment in time, I am very happy that I do not have to wait until Monday. This would have been the fifth week in a row that I would have to watch a Monday night game. Yeah, this is the first game I can actually go to bed on Monday and sleep 8 hours.
I have not had a Monday showdown at all this year. Except,
the worst.
Yeah, it is the worst. Usually if I had a Monday game, it's like already over, which is like almost a relief.
Right?
And, but let's look at your lineup here for a quick minute.
I thought we were going over... Whoa, I didn't go over your lineup.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, why am I going to win? Because if I were the other team, meaning if I were you, Mr. Penn State, I would be afraid of the following players: Stafford, Hilton, Marvin Jones Jr., Mike Evans, Gronkowski, Kelvin Benjamin, Janikowski. That's a lot of players. Now, if I were me, which I am, I would only be afraid of Cousins a little bit, Cooper and Nelson, not really Snead, not Stewart, not Bernard, not Doyle, Olsen. And Seattle D not really against New Orleans. So I'm afraid about 3.5 of your players.
3.5?
Yeah, because Kirk Cousins just a half this week against Cincinnati.
Wow.
And I would, if I were you, I'd be afraid of at least 7 players.
All right, Brian. I am not afraid of Matt Stafford at Houston. I'm not afraid of T.Y. Hilton versus Kansas City. I'm not afraid of Jones Jr. I'm afraid of Mike Evans. I'm definitely not afraid of Matthews or Washington.
Shouldn't be.
Afraid of Gronkowski. I'm not afraid of Benjamin. And I'm afraid of Janikowski. So I'm only afraid of three players.
Oh, it's the 3.5.
Yeah, so I'm going to win by half.
If you win by half a point, that'd be amazing. All right, well, I also like my projection chances right now because Washington's going to go up a little bit from 3, and you're obviously going to go up if you remember to put a kicker in. So it's going to be pretty close on paper.
Yeah, on paper it will be.
Yeah.
I think so.
We will see on Sunday night whenever Ryan Matthews scores a touchdown to put a dagger in your heart.
I'm pretty confident I will not be watching the Sunday night game just for Ryan Matthews.
If I'm up by like 7 points, you will.
Well, no, if you're up by 7 points, I won't watch it.
You're up by 7.
Yeah, you're probably right. But yeah, so I hope to beat you in this matchup, and I hope to beat you in our other matchup as well, Brad.
Ooh.
The Dynasty.
I know.
Which is sad because,
I'm pretty much out of it already.
well, I'm trying to make a
Last
push.
place.
I wasn't last. But just know that if Gronkowski beats me here, he beats you there.
That's a good point. That's and I can sleep at night because I'm already out of it there. But I will say one other thing. The only thing that really matters is that Josh and Craig both lose.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, I would like Josh to win, actually, because the Jai he's not even using because he's on
Good
bye week.
point. And he's playing Bean, right? No. He's playing
I think he's playing Bean.
Bean. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And we definitely want Bean to lose so we can hear him cry.
We do. I want some talk about algorithms.
And if we always hear him cry after a win, I want to hear him cry after a loss.
That's true. And for next week, during the podcast, we had a line app phone call that I didn't even know you could do from Bigler, and he wanted to get in on this podcast. Apparently, I talked to him, and so hopefully next week we are going to get him in for an interview, possibly.
Possibly, but what Bigler will have to do if you're listening is you'll have to call the Google Voice number because that's the only one I can actually record on. And I think you can make free Google Voice calls. I don't even know if you need a phone number.
I don't know either.
I mean, you might just be able to use Wi-Fi. You could look into it, but I don't think I can record just using the Line app. That's why I have the Google Voice number, so you can record while you're talking live.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, we'll have to drive to Bigler.
We could.
And Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
Well, I actually might be going back to Johnstown next week anyway,
Oh, really?
so I could perform an interview of Bigler
Oh, yeah.
and Bean.
That'd be awesome.
The
When are you going back?
probably Tuesday night
Okay, but you'll be back for Thursday?
for the pod. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Well,
will.
if you want to do a interview assignment, you can.
And giving me homework.
Yeah, no. You know, they always say like a reporter on assignment or something out in the field.
That out in the field.
Yeah.
Usually it's like a dangerous, like a war-torn place, but I'll go to the
What?
drug-infested Johnstown.
Oxycontin capital of the world.
CONCAP, probably other stuff now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so are you ready, Brian?
I'm always ready, Matt.
Well,